On the 13th of October 2008, I bled seriously. My husband packed almost a bucket full of blood, and we got rushed off to the hospital. And interestingly, we did a scan, and the baby was fine, and everything was good. And went into the labor room. From having a baby to seeing a specialist to doing x-rays. She was 6 days old. We were introduced to a consultant, and then we did the x-ray and got the shocker that she had a missing tibia of the right leg and a missing patella.
That's when you say to, what is that?
So that missing bone of
The knee?
the knee was not there, and then the bone in the leg was not there.
Okay.
So as a result, that was why the foot was turned to the back. She started casting her leg when she was 6 weeks. After a while, we saw an American doctor that told us, you know what? The smartest thing and the best thing to do for your child is to amputate. Yes. Beulah went in for surgery on the 30th of September 2011, and the leg got amputated. It was a dark night.
Hello there. You're welcome to the concluding part. You know, I said ministry gives purpose to pain, and you'll never be healed until you use your pain to heal others. Look at Jesus. He healed our pain because of his pain. And today, Olasumbo, Beulah's mom, is healing other people by setting up a foundation where she supplies prostheses to children who need it. This is Beulah. My beautiful Beulah. How are you, darling? You're fine? Answer me now. Answer. How are you? You're fine. So, having gone through the surgery and now with the prosthesis, how did God lay it on your heart to start the foundation?
Okay, the first thing God brought to my mind was to write. The only way I could express myself on paper was to write on paper. So I'll feel sad, I'll write it down. I'm grateful, I'll write it down. I'm thinking of Beulah's wedding day, I'll write it down. And all the things that I imagined. Then early 2012, some woman walked through my doors. And she wanted to meet Beulah's mother. Yes. Because she also had a child that had congenital limb absence also. So like from the upper arm like this, or the child was not there. And she had already gotten prostheses for her child from the US. So like really tech prostheses. But she couldn't live life. She couldn't understand why God would be mean to her. She closed down her shop. She wasn't going to church. And so many other things. She was angry at God, people, and everybody. So she walked through my doors and she was like, I'm looking for Beulah's mom. And I'm like, I am. I mean, this is someone that is like a size 18 and she's tall. So she probably looked at me like, is this the thing I'm coming to see? So I was like, I am. She was like, oh, are you Beulah's mom? Someone told me about you, and then how she knew about me and got my address and came to find me. I said, oh, I am. Oh, and by the way, this is Beulah. Interestingly, that day, Beulah was putting on shorts. So she could see Beulah's leg. Yes. And then she just broke down and started crying. So I asked her, I said, what is the matter? Then she told me about her son and how life had been. How people, segregated her, how she was ashamed to bring him out in public and all of that. And then I told her, I said, one thing I'm sure of is Beulah would like to be your son's friend. So, and I would like to be your friend. The next day she called if she could bring her son over to my house, but I was on my way to church. So she asked me if they could come to church with us. I said, why not? Well, everybody can come to our church. So I picked them up. I went late to church that day, waited for her, picked them up. We got to church, spent time with her son. And that was how she started coming to my church. I started walking through her process with her. and told her that it was important for her to put her child in school. She said no, they want to go off to Canada where people would accept them and all of that. I told her, I said, if you can't live in Nigeria with this issue, you can't live in Canada. Because everywhere they will help your child know that something is wrong with him. But you need to put in your child that everything is right with him. So that's how I started walking it through. And then one morning, I didn't have any peace. I just woke up. I knew that I had to do this for a lot more people. I had to talk to a lot more parents. I had to talk to a lot more kids. And more importantly, prostheses, because they are children, they get to change it often. So every 6 to 9 months, some of them will change their prostheses.
As they grow.
As they grow older. And I mean, just imagine Beulah is 3 years right now. So she changes like every 6 to 9 months, she will change her prostheses. For people that can't afford it, you will not think of it. And that's why you see a lot of children around using crutches or using stick to walk around, because they can't even afford to get a prosthetic limb or an orthosis for the child, where they just need a little lift because he's 100,000 or he's 200,000 or he's 300,000. They won't be able to get it for their child. And when they think of the frequency of change, they will not even bother about it. They will wait till the child is probably 18 or 21. That's when they get the artificial limb for the child. So that's how the vision of it started. I went to the Lord in prayer and clarified whether it was what he wanted me to do. And then he started giving me ideas, and I started putting it down on paper. I started writing it down. And one thing he told me was, he said, I will carry the vision myself. Don't bother. Don't give yourself heartache. I will run with it. Quicker than you expect, I'm going to publicize it. And before I knew it, registration happened. I talked to people to be my trustees, people that I did not expect would accept, and they said yes. And that's way we started working on the foundation. The name of the foundation is the Irede Foundation. Irede. It's not Beulah, because Beulah Foundation was already taken. Irede is Beulah's Yoruba name.
Okay.
So it's Ireoluwade. The goodness of the Lord has come. So she's the goodness of the Lord to us. Since she came, I mean, a lot of good things the Lord has done. And that is why the foundation is named after her, Irede Foundation. So we also want to extend the same joy, the same goodness that Christ has shown to us, to everybody that is open to it. Be it Christian, be it Muslim, be it a 2-year-old, be it an 18-year-old. I mean, we just want to spread it to everybody and just make sure that everybody on the face of the earth that has this same kind of congenital issues, or even acquired, because in Nigeria, a lot of children, Okada will knock them down, or they will break, or electrocution. Some children get electrocuted. Some it's cancer. Some it's a lot of things that causes the people to amputate their children. We make artificial limbs available to them at no cost, and then the kids can go on and have equal life with every other person.
How are you financing? How do you hope to finance this? I know that when God gives you a vision, he makes provision. How do you hope to finance it? Because prostheses are very expensive, and having to keep changing them every 3-4 months. How?
Well, today we finance via friends. So we have friends that just, people give us 1,000 naira on a monthly basis, and they commit to that. Some people give us 2,500 on a monthly basis, or 5,000. Or some people just give us a one-time payment of 1 million and say, you know
That's
what,
wonderful.
we are supporting this child. Or someone says, I want to take on this particular child, and I want to take care of the child's prosthesis for life. Because what we actually do is, when we adopt a child, we adopt children from when they are about 0 years to when they are 18 years. We make prostheses available for them. And the reason why we are focused on children is because when you give a child a prosthesis when the child is young, they learn to use it. They walk almost the same way every other person walks, so they can use it. And then they're making stage. When someone's already an adult, you probably can decide not to want to use prosthesis, or decide to say, okay, I'm going to use crutches, or the person's mind is already made up, and the person can't really be flexible.
Hold the thought. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We tell stories, and we love to hear stories. Most especially stories of human beings surviving trouble. And we all need the encouragement, knowing that others have been afflicted as we, and they have found a way to the other side. In stories are pain and struggles and failure.
I suffered.
There was nobody to pay my school fees. I dropped out at elementary 3.
From my teenage age, I was involved in professional armed robbery.
I had become a member of a confraternity.
Why I have a patch in the middle of my head. Constant hawking of breath for like almost 4 years.
You never imagine that a plane will crash and your children will be there.
And I didn't know I'm a sickler until I was age of 13.
And also of laughter and wisdom
You learn that without God you are nothing.
and grace.
There was grace that brought me this far, and only grace can lead me on.
And you don't have to be good with words to tell them powerfully.
See, they were like this. Take. You know when you are coming, you want to enter somebody's
Yes.
house. Their legs were
On the window.
Mba. When they had OPC, the leg went back, bam. Father, I thank you.
Join us as we celebrate the story behind the glory, and that to the glory of God. You're welcome back. Beulah, how are you, my dear? You want to dance for auntie? I hear you dance ballet. Do you? Would you like to dance for
Yeah, will
auntie?
you dance with mommy?
Will you dance with mommy? Okay, dance with mommy now for me to see.
Yeah, come, let's dance. So we'll dance Femzi. Then we'll turn round. Then we'll do. Okay, let's come on.
Let's see how Beulah will dance. Just dance it. Wait here just a little bit. Beulah.
Yeah, Beulah, look.
I love this Beulah's dress.
How? Okay. Can you turn around? Okay. Okay. So do it for mommy.
Do it for me. So that Vicky will take you swimming. Good
Good.
girl. Good girl.
Can you turn around? Good.
Come. I mean, have you gone back to Enugu since then?
Yes, I have. Actually, we have a child that we've taken care of right now. Her name is Kelechi. Kelechi was a bilateral amputee. So when I met her, 2 of the legs were cut off. She is a 2-year-old. She will soon be 3 years. And I mean, it was funny because our family practically thought that life had ended for them. And hers is even an interesting case because Kelechi was not born with any congenital limb deformity. She was born with both legs. Then she had diarrhea. Then they gave her injection on the wrong nerve. One thing led to the other and the legs started getting rotten and they had to cut it off. And of course, they live somewhere inside Enugu. Igbo is a north. They're from Igbo. Igbo is a north is after Nsukka. It goes really deep inside. You have to be from Enugu State too. Even people that come from Enugu State, they don't know where Igbo is the north is. It's really, really far inside after Nsukka. And we took on her project. Kelechi right now, a bilateral amputee, is walking. She walks with both legs. We're hoping that in another 1 year she would have mastered walking by herself. And that's one. We're taking on another case right now of Chidebere. Chidebere stories, I mean, painful. 6-year-old, on his sister's wedding day, a wall collapsed on his leg. And because it was a wedding scenario, I mean, they just said, don't worry, put robe. You know, everybody ran off for the wedding. And by the time they were back, the leg had gone dead, totally black. And they started carrying him from one bone setter to another. And before you would know it, he lost his leg almost from his hip. So right now, his leg is cut off. But I mean, thanks to God, the Radio Foundation is providing him with a prosthesis. He's already 8 years now. We're going to be providing his prosthesis till he's 18 years old. He's currently writing exams right now, but he has started his fitting. Next, I'm sure that Chidebere is going to be walking with both legs unaided. We have Dorcas that we're also going to be taking up very soon. Dorcas is a 9-year-old girl that got amputated because she had cancer of the bone. So these are cases of children that are already walking and then they had to be amputated. So Enugu, yes, is always home for us because that's where Beulah goes back to also do her prosthesis. And of course, we have a lot of cases that we are handling in Enugu. So we'll keep going back to Enugu. We'll keep seeing the doctors because they were amazing. And I think they are amazing people. And we still keep in touch with them over the phone.
Looking back now to when Beulah was born, how do you feel?
I'm blessed. And I'm highly, highly favored. I'm blessed beyond measure. God knew my future and had to do this to make that future come to pass. I'm really grateful to God. No regrets whatsoever. I mean, if you ask me, so would you have preferred or would you have wanted to know that Beulah would be amputated? Of course, I'm not happy that she's amputated, but I'm excited that the science made available for us to have a solution. I'm excited that she's going about daily activities. You just saw Beulah dance. I mean, and she just started learning ballet. So I'm sure in another 3 years, she'll be a professional. She loves to make people up. She likes to run. She loves to model. She swims. So there's a whole lot of things that she already likes to do. She likes to draw. So it's a lot of things we start seeing that she likes to do. So it's just helping her to work on those things and be better. And not just Beulah being better. It's making a whole lot of kids better at what they do. It's making a whole lot of kids that have missing limbs today, either congenital or acquired, being able to live life to the fullest, giving them a new lease of life, making them to be what God has actually called them to be.
If you didn't go through what you went through, would you be doing this today?
No, absolutely no. I mean, for the first time, I watched the Paralympics. I probably wouldn't have if it wasn't for my daughter. I wouldn't have watched Paralympics, but I did. I watched from the beginning to the end. One of the things that Irede Foundation is thinking of doing is grooming children to be Olympians. So we are going to be having Olympians in Nigeria, in Africa. We're going to have facilities that will help the children to practice, to get ready for the Olympics. So I mean, China gets people ready. We also are going to get these kids ready for Olympics. We're going to help them to have all the things that they need in place for them to get ready for the Olympics. They will go and they will do very well. They will run like the Blade Runner.
They will jump.
They will jump. They will do everything that happens in that Olympics and they will come back with medals. Not just medals, gold medals. So that I am very sure of.
Beulah, say something to mommy. Say something to me. When are you going to swim? When is the next time you're going to a swimming pool to swim? Mommy, when?
Friday. You go on Friday.
I'd love to join you. I join you to swim.
And she sings. Do you want to sing, Kerry?
You want to sing for me? Will you sing? You don't want to sing for me. I understand. I love your dress. And how is the family?
Oh, we are doing well. We are excited. I mean, when you wake up and see Beulah every day, you will be excited because she wakes up with a lot of fun. She's not that child that wakes up and is still thinking, okay, she just wakes up and life begins and she's just all excited. She's running down the stairs. She comes back from school. Where is Auntie Tola? And then she sees Auntie Tola and she wants to write and she wants to draw. And, so it gives you hope and it gives you life. It's just hope, but afresh, made anew in our hearts. She's not like a butterfly that is hidden in the cocoon. She's one that has already flown. So it's amazing.
Hold that thought. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We tell stories, and we love to hear stories. Most especially stories of human beings surviving trouble. And we all need the encouragement, knowing that others have been afflicted as we, and they have found a way to the other side. In stories are pain, and struggles, and failure.
I suffered.
There was nobody to pay my school fees. I dropped out at elementary 3.
From my teenage age, I was involved in professional armed robbery.
I had become a member of a confraternity.
Why I have a patch in the middle of my head. Constant hawking of breath for like almost 4 years.
You never imagine that a plane will crash and your children will be there.
And I didn't know I'm a sickler until I was age of 13.
And also of laughter and wisdom
You learn that without God, you are nothing.
and grace.
There was grace that brought me this far, and only grace can lead me on.
And you don't have to be good with words to tell them powerfully.
See, they were like this. Take. You know when you are coming, you want to enter somebody's
Yes.
house. Their legs were
On the window.
Mba. When they had OPC, the leg went back, bam. Father, I thank you.
Join us as we celebrate the story behind the glory, and that to the glory of God. You're welcome back. Look in that camera. I know there are mothers who have gone through what you went through, who have absolutely refused to have their children's legs amputated, or arms, whatever limb. There's some who are so ashamed right now that it's difficult for them to even show off the child. There's some who actually wake up in the morning and to them they feel that they've done something wrong. God hates them. It's because of their sins. You know, when things happen, and especially tradition will tell you all kinds of
Yes,
things.
and friends and people.
Yes. So please look in that camera. Begin to speak to women. So some women are going through that because they don't have a support from their husbands. Because you know, when you have a child like that, the man or the man's family will tell you it's your fault. And most women have gone through that. Have talked to people with children with Down syndrome, with all kinds of challenges. So please look in that camera. Begin to speak to mothers, speak to
The
fathers.
first thing I want to tell you parents out there, if you have a child with congenital limb deformity or acquired limb loss, is that it's not your fault. Quit thinking it's your fault. It's not your fault. Even science does not have a reason why it happens. And I'm sure that it happened to you because of a purpose that God wants to bring to pass in your life. If you have to amputate and you've not already amputated, if that is the best solution for your own child, you should do same right now so that you can help your child to live life to the fullest. If you're a woman like myself, I know it's painful for you to have carried your child 9 months and then the child comes out with a limb deformity or the other. But I want you to know that God is aware. He knows about it and He's made provision for you and for that child. And if you're a husband, please support your wife and don't also think that it's your fault. And if you are a family or a caregiver, you need to give help and support to the parents of the child that are involved. Don't think it's because they sinned or because they did not do one thing or the other very well, or they did not take their minerals, or they did not take their vitamins. Please and please, I want you to just hold up, believe, have faith, and trust God, and put everything in that child that the child needs to be what God has called the child to be. Pray with your child, help your child to try everything possible. Don't try to limit the child. Don't try to say you cannot jump, or you cannot do this, or you can't do that. They can do everything. The Bible actually says that you can do everything. You can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. And that should be your motto. That should be something you hold on to every day. And look up to God. He will definitely help you. Daddies out there, please don't leave your wives alone. Don't think they are the reason or they are the cause. Just please stay together and believe together, because together you can make a change. Together you can help create a totally new world around that child or those children. And you might not have a child with such deformity. It might just be that you have people around you with that kind of deformity. All you need to do is support them and don't talk them down, and God will help you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sumbo. Thank you. God bless you, and God will send you helpers.
Amen.
For this vision that God has given to you.
Amen.
And Beulah will grow up to be that child that you'll be so proud of.
Amen.
And you'll say that, and you'll, you know the things they say, you'll see and you'll say, God did this. And it's too marvelous in our eyes. Thank you very much. And whenever you want to launch the foundation, please
Thank you.
invite us. Come and talk to us about it.
Thank
We'll be
you
too
so
glad.
much.
Wherever we can be of assistance, let us know. Thank you so much, and God
Thank
bless
you.
you. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Okay. Let me just see you. Tell it to the world. Okay, we're not singing now. Should we sing? I wanna wish you. Ooh. From the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad.
Sumbo sharing her story today, I'm sure made a way of escape for someone out there. You know, sometimes we go through situations we can't begin to explain. We get angry at God, we throw tantrums, and somehow we lose the purpose. Sumbo today has discovered purpose because of what her daughter went through. And today Beulah can dance, Beulah can play, Beulah can do whatever thing she wants to do. Because the Bible says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Well, I pray that the same faith that Sumbo has, that faith will be in you. And that whatever situation you find yourself, always remember that scripture. That all things work together for good for those who love God and those who are the called. Are you called of God? You'll be faced with so many situations. At that point in time when the situation is raging, it's difficult to see any good in it. But when you sit back eventually, you'll say, oh, is this where God was taking me to all this while? Until I come your way another time, keep holding on and don't let any situation weigh you down. For God who allowed the situation will give you succor, bring you peace. And from that situation, a purpose will emerge. Until I come your way another time, my name is Uduak Abasi, meaning God's will, perfect will of God. You have a great week ahead of you. And Beulah, come, say bye. Come, say bye. Say bye. 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 Say bye. Bye. See, we're finished.